by the end of the year. Is that true? I mean, I can't.
What year?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't, we're only 6% done digging. I would say, I'd like to say yes, but I can't guarantee that. We still have 40%. Unforeseen stuff in the ground, stuff could happen.
It'll also depend on where you are in the
Yeah, where are you?
Well, I'm at 499 County Road 46. You know what that is? It's out.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I was told that it was going to be. Well, we were told a couple of years ago, and then it kept getting pushed back. And then when I got a bill, I called and he said it will definitely be turned on by the end of the year. But that's not the case.
I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just saying I'm not going to guarantee it. I don't know exactly where you are, like I said. If you're on the 40% that isn't installed yet,
He is.
you know.
Other questions I have on how it's going to affect my property. Like, is it going to affect my driveway? Like, you know, which side of the road is the main line coming up on? Is it coming up on the river side or the other side? Like, is it going to affect my driveway?
It's going to be
affect my mailbox?
It'll be on the riverside.
It'll be on the riverside. Okay. So it'll affect my driveway. And what do you do for the driveway? Do you
You're going to excavate through, then we're going to come back. Is it blacktop driveway? So it'll be re-blacktop.
be blacktop?
Yes.
Just the whole driveway, or just the part?
Just the part where they're excavating. Yeah.
I have a big tree stump too, that took down a big tree in front of my house, and I have a big tree stump there, and I've kind of left it, and I put like flowers in it, and I carved it out. My wife is going to carve it. Is that going to have to come out?
Depends how close to the road it is.
It's
I'd have to look
like
at it.
a foot, 2 feet from the road.
Good.
So we're going to take that out.
It'll happen.
Okay. Now, I was also told that I'd be able to keep my well when he came out like 2 years ago and did the inspection of our property. And I asked him specifically, I said, will you hook it up so that my well will be hooked up to my outside water spigot, so I can use the well for the outside water spigot? They said they'd do that? Is that
No,
the
they're
case?
not gonna do that. They have come back on that.
They're not gonna do that?
No, they
I
have
was
not.
proud
You
to
can
do
do that.
that.
It can't be connected to more than one. It can't be in your, it can't be at all connected to the public system. But if you wanted to run anything off your own well, to an outside spigot to wash cars, water the lawn, you're welcome to do whatever you want with it.
At cost to you.
At a cost to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, because we're bringing the village water into you at no cost.
All right.
Yes.
All right, now,
It's not a
suppose I decide that I want to get out of it, suppose I decide, you know, I want to stop this, and I don't want to, you know, how do I do that, and how does that work, and what are the repercussions?
Because then you don't want to hook up.
No, once I'm hooked up, let's say I'm hooked up, you know, and I'm going along, and I decide, you know, geez, I don't, you know, I'd rather go back to my well, my well water is not, quality isn't bad, I just got a new pump, and, you know, I just decide, hey, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. How do I do that? What's the cost? Is there a cost?
I think the cost would be for you to have somebody come in and physically make the disconnection and connection to the other, and you probably have to be witnessed by the town and or village.
But you're
Just
still
to
gonna
make the
have to pay
connection
for the
difference.
water, because it crosses your property.
Yeah, and you would still be billed. You wouldn't be billed for water because you wouldn't be using any, but you would still be paying the debt service charge.
Okay.
For the next 30 years.
So I just got my bill the other day, I paid my bill. I'm going to continue to get that bill until the water's hooked up?
And beyond for the next 30 years.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously beyond.
Yeah.
For the next 30 years,
All right, so my second question, my secondary question is about the project itself, like, you know, the cost, the benefits, who pays. Now, our water bill is going up because they said that that's for the bond. Is everybody's water bill going up in the district? Is the cost being shared between the town and the village? Who's paying for the bond? Just people getting more water now, or is it spread across everybody?
The South Racket district users are paying for that loan. And then there's a border district, they'll be paying for that loan. And then the third and final district, if it's successful with funding, will be the North Grass, and then they'll pay for that district debt.
So everybody's paying different costs depending on what zone they're in?
Yes,
And it's not being shared by everybody, everybody's just paying for their own district, basically.
correct.
It's broken up by how many users are in that district. Yeah. Your bond payment is broken up by how many users are in your district.
And
So if you don't get water, you're not a user, you still gotta pay for it.
What if the water does not cross your property? What if it's on the opposite side?
all right, thank you.
if it's road frontage, yeah, that's still considered a benefit to your property.
Okay.
But it's on the other side.
She's had a question, she's
Yeah.
been trying to ask you.
It's more of just like a statement. You said, can you afford $6,000 for a well, but then you also kind of shot yourself in the foot a little bit with that statement. Because you're asking people, can you afford a $6,000 outright payment to repair a well? But if people are paying an additional $100 a month, which I think a lot of people in Massena, we are one of the poorest counties in New York State, know how much $100 actually impacts your life. How are they supposed to save up for an emergency if they can't expect what they're going to be month by month, especially with something so sudden and dropped on their profits when they didn't know what to expect from the cost, and now they're being demanded $100 or $200 increase in what they know what to expect? How are you to then say, well, you couldn't afford the other option anyways, especially when we live in a rural area where there's a lot of people around here who have small businesses. They're willing to do payment plans for something like a pump like that. There's a lot of people locally owned that would be willing to do that for somebody. So maybe $200 a month, they could do a finance program to replace their well, but not if they're paying me that. So I just,
If you connected to the water system and are paying that bill, then you wouldn't have any further unexpected fees related to your water because maintenance of that system is then covered by the village.
like
I
I
think
said,
her
that
statement
even
was
people who
that
have
that
that
was
running
kind of
across their
derogatory
property and are
feeling.
not using the water are going to be charged the fee.
So I'd like to challenge that. I'm paying, my well is not a good well right now, that's why I was in favor of this. So I'm paying right now to bring my stuff to the laundromat on top of having to pay that bill at the same time. So tell me how that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have no
Again, the
problem
town-
paying for it if I'm receiving the water. When I receive the water, then I should have been billed.
I do have a question on our
Is
taxes.
there a credit for it?
Our town taxes typically help pay for infrastructure, things of that nature. Are we gonna have an increase in tax because now we have public water? So we're gonna be paying maintenance and increase in tax? That's something I would really like to know.
No, the debt for each water district is paid by those district users solely.
So there's
It's not townwide, if you're in the South Racket district, you're paying for it. If you're in the border, you're not paying for South Racket. If you're in no district, you're not paying for those districts.
Yeah, I'm right on the edge of town, village town, but I don't pay village tax, I pay town tax. And my tax bill keeps going up and up and up, so, I wanna know if that's gonna happen again, because I'm at a point where
I mean, it
I
will
pay
likely
more
go up
taxes
again,
than
but
I
it's
do
not
in
gonna be
mortgage.
because of the water.
Not to do the water. So, and just your statement, mine, and it sounds like there's frustration, like, so all these public hearings, I would think I was at 4 out of 6. I've never seen an area want water so bad. Everybody there was always, we want the water last year, but what's taking so long? It's just the nature of how slow it is. My comment was, it seems like nobody here really cared, they saw construction since last April, didn't care until they got a bill. Either nobody thought about it, or they thought it was gonna be free, and now everybody's mad they didn't get a warning there was gonna be a bill. My comment was more like, if your pump quits on your well pump, you don't get a warning about that. You get stuck with a bill instantly. I'm on private water, I wish I had an industrial system. My well, I've been in my house for 7 years. I have 2 years, my well has been dry in the summer. I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. It's difficult without water. I wish I could pay $1,000 for water, but I can't, I'm not fortunate. My water's hard, and I don't have a lot of it. I wish I could have water. And it sounds like a lot of these areas are the same way.
You willing to move to our street?
We actually had somebody in the border district tell us the other day that the only reason they're staying in their house is because of the water project. They've tried to drill 3 wells and all of them are terrible.
Kudos for them.
Can I ask you a question related to the construction? When the water is turned on, is my house gonna be able to handle the pressure?
As long as you have.
Who is gonna be responsible if it doesn't?
Homeowner.
Yeah.
Any modern water,
How do you know you're not gonna turn on, I'm gonna wreck all my
So
plumbing?
There's, the Department of Health has standards, we're not allowed, if your pressure is over 90 PSI, you have to have a pressure reducing valve, it's called, so we're gonna reduce the pressure to the rest of it. So we even drop that lower, if you're over 80 PSI, we make sure you have a PRV in there just to prevent that.
But I'm a well, I'm at like 40. Okay, so the town, it's gonna go up to 80.
that's at the main though.
That's at the main.
That's at the main line and your
But is
pressure
my
will be
house gonna be able
significantly
to handle
reduced through your
that?
lateral.
Or am I gonna be responsible? How many people's houses, have they even thought about that? Have you even presented that? Was
It's
that in your letter? We've got a-
99% of the time, it's not an issue for anybody in any municipal.
Pretty much any pipe that's installed, if it's owned, what?
Is that an accurate percentage, or is that just off the top of your head?
It's off the top of my head, but I've never personally seen that issue.
But I'll be responsible for it.
Yeah, if something in your interior plumbing were to fail, that's on you, same as if it were to happen now.
Right, but I'm saying if their water comes into my house and my house cannot handle it, who's gonna be responsible for that? Or my neighbor's house, or the person down the street?
Not every house on the street has been built in the last 10 years. Some of it's old plumbing. To her point, more pressure could cause leaks.
It's possible, it could. We can't guarantee that it won't. Any pipe that's probably in any house that's still standing right now is rated for well above the pressure that we're gonna be putting in. So if it were to fail, it were likely because it was aging and getting weak anyway.
Okay, so it's gonna be my fault, my pipes are weak. I am asking you a serious question. Just tell me, no, I'm responsible. You don't care what happens once the water's turned on.
We don't know
And
where.
I'm paying the $148.
I, for one, wouldn't mind paying for the water, if I had the water. And whenever you bring water to my house, I'll be glad to pay for it.
Again, the town.
That's a ways away, by the way.
Again, the town has spent $6 million. How can they pay all their contractors and everybody that's been involved in design without the users that are gonna benefit from it contributing?
So again, I would refer to the letter that I read just a little while ago. It said that no cost until construction is complete. I have a copy of that letter. I'll give to anybody that wants to read it. Is the town supervisor responsible for this letter? Does it mean anything that he wrote this letter?
And then hooking up your laterals to your house.
I'm sorry?
That was pre-installment to the laterals going to your house.
It doesn't say anything about laterals.
Well, that's what it's referring to.
I should know more
It seems
specific.
like there's like a lack of communication here, coordination between you and the board and the water department. I mean, why, when I call the water department, why did they tell me that why did they guarantee me that my water was gonna be turned on by the end of the year? I mean, who's fault is that? Is that your fault? Is that their fault?
Well, no, that is the plan. It's not a guarantee until
Well,
the
they
water's
told us
in.
2 years ago. I mean, there's been delay after delay after delay. It's not like they said, well, we're planning on it, and you know, if something unforeseen happens, it may not happen. But they guaranteed me. They said, oh, no. You know, you're getting your bill now, but you're guaranteed to get they used the word guaranteed.
Well, if it didn't happen, it's nothing to do with the town board or highway department or water department's fault. Something bad would happen. Say COVID hit again, and then there's all of a sudden a pipe shortage, and we're 1 mile short, and you're stuck in that 1 mile.
Well, I'm fairly certain. I mean, you know, construction hasn't even come to my property yet, so I'm fairly certain that it's not going to be this year. I mean, I can see.
We started in April, and it's July, and we're 60% done. And we have all the drills done, other than the railroad crossings.
When do you plan on going under the railroad?
About mid-August, they're planning to come back up. They're working on, there's permits you gotta get from CSX.
And you don't have the permits yet?
There's stages of permits. The town got their permits, probably almost 2 years ago. Then the contractor had to get a permit to actually do the work.
We had our pre-construction meeting yesterday, and it's looking good for the start mid-August.
We have a gentleman in the back that's waiting patiently to.
Would that be me or somebody else?
Right on.
Okay, go ahead.
Ray, we've spoke several times. My question is to you. I don't want your water. No way. I'm not paying for it. So you tell me what you're gonna do.
Taxes.
So you add them to my taxes? Is that the plan? I struggle enough now to pay taxes in this town. So number two, at 65, 1 more year, my house is paid for a third time. You will own it. And it'll be in the cellar, all completely leveled out, and you will own it. Because I will not pay another dime of taxes, water, any of that BS until this is figured out. And I talked to Dylan, and Dylan has not even returned a phone call when I get sent a bill for 3 lots. 3 lots. I have 1 lot. I have a lot behind my house that's landlocked. You're charging me for 20 feet that was an old right-of-way. An old right-of-way that don't even exist anymore, goes nowhere.
Absolutely.
It's part of my house, and I'm being charged for that? I have 165 foot of road frontage. What are you gonna do with that lot when the house is in the cellar? Because I'm not paying no more. I'm tired of it. I'll move out to Norfolk, build a house out at my daughter's place, and y'all can have it. So
Our
what
intent to start with was to offer the rest of the residents in Massena good quality water.
you sent papers out in the mail. There was no vote on this. There was no public vote. It was a paper that come in the mail. If you look up my address and look up this man right here, the engineer, looks it up, he'll see what I wrote on that paper. And it probably got rolled up in a piece and thrown in the garbage. Because I wrote right on it, I don't want your cart water. I don't want your fluoride. I don't want your chlorine. I live in the country for a reason. And it wasn't for the village anemones. I've lived there all my life. And now I gotta leave. I'm going to leave because I don't want it. And it's being shoved right down our throat. And everybody says the majority wanted it. I'd like to see it on paper. We had no vote, we had no say other than a piece of paper mailed to us. How many people, how many of these empty lots were yes votes? Because I'm being billed for 3 pieces and didn't even have the decency to be called back.
You didn't have a call back because when we talked on the phone, I told you I would take the vacant lot off because you do not have road frontage. As for the 20-foot lot next to the house that you said is a right-of-way, it has its own tax map number.
It was redone onto the house. I gotta go up to real property in Canton and it'll be gone. You still gonna charge me for that 20 feet?
If it was combined, it will be removed from.
Once it's combined and you have the paperwork to show it was combined, you will lose that bill, yes.
But it's on my house. My house is mortgaged through CCOM, and they have, my road frontage is 165. You measure from one survey stake to the other, it's 165 by 220. And that 20 foot that's in there, when I bought the house from my mom and dad, when they moved, that was switched over. That's not even in my name, that 20 foot. Look it up. You didn't do your math, and you didn't do your research. That bill goes to Donald and Connie Nolan. It's sent to my house, because I pay it. And it's like $25. Now I'm paying more for that than I am in taxes for water.
I have the same situation with a spot across the street, so I can't attach it to my house. We're right outside of the town line at Golden Salmon. That little bitty well over there,
Yep.
there's nothing there. It literally is a well hole. And we're having to pay on that one, and we've been told. And I don't feel like that's right.
Let us look at it.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's
It says between the, across the.
Humane Society, right there,
Humane
in the
Society.
Humane Society. But, you know, so those are the same things, and I think that's some of the things that people are getting frustrated about, so I feel like, because I know I've heard from not just here, other people saying the same thing, I'm paying for this, why am I paying for this, why am I paying half, this is this, or this is that. So I think maybe putting out a little bit of an effort of hearing people and their frustrations, because I think you've heard a lot around here, and, you know, we understand that this is a new water district, this is new, things are happening, there are costs, there are expenses, I'm very familiar with capital projects, et cetera, but sometimes just being able to be heard and responded to, because I feel like that goes a long way in a little bit of empathy to what people are going through, and I don't feel a lot of that tonight. You know, people struggle here, you know, and, you know, we're fortunate enough that, okay, the cost of the water, I need water, she needs water, her well's dry. I'm feeding her house with my,
2 years.
for 2 years. I'm feeding her house with a water hose. So, but everyone's in a different situation, and I think that, you know, if it's putting someone else on helping you return calls, empathy goes a long way, and understanding and being willing to kind of, that flexibility, so that's,
Absolutely.
you know.
Like Donnie had the issue with the landlocked parcel, as they're brought to our attention, we can address each individual concern, but
Yeah.
it does take a while to get back to everybody.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know, it's just some of the responses, and I can't say I'm not on the phone, so I feel like you're listening to me now, so I can't answer, but, you know, just as a whole, I think this whole project has been frustrating, trying to get an answer. I believe it's this gentleman here that we see quite often.
Yes.
I talked to my husband quite a bit across the street.
Yes.
You know, I feel like you've given us a lot of really good information,
Yes.
and we felt confident in that, but I don't hear that that's everywhere. You know, so that's just something I wanna say. You know, we're in this, we're here, what can we do about it? But a little bit of patience and stuff, and Ray, your letter said, you know, open communication, transparency. And I feel like that's what a lot of people aren't feeling right now, that there's no transparency.
So,
The letter should have came out before the water bills.
Right.
Yeah, that would've been nice. I got it in the mail, I'm like, what is this?
yeah, Father's
You know?
Day.
The timing should have been better, I agree on that.
Well, take me on Father's Day. By the way, Dylan, I bring you in my deed that shows 165 foot of road frontage, and that 20 feet is not there. What are you gonna do then?
If that 20 feet is not there,
It's already in my deed. It's already included in my deed through CCOM.
so that's something we're gonna have to address with real property.
Yeah,
You know, to wait, get up and go out and check the mail and have 3 bills. It's more than my mortgage payment.
And you will, so for the vacant lot, you'll get a credit back to your account, because you
I
are.
haven't paid any of them, not, but
It
it's
won't be
great.
there, and it'll get
I
rid
don't
of.
The
think
town's
anybody-
gonna, y'all gonna have my place, I'm not paying it. I'm not paying, I don't want it, I have a perfectly good well. I got over $5,000 into a water system in my house. Reverse osmosis, the whole works. I don't want this water. I won't even water my garden with fluoride, chlorine. Think about it. You put it into your food. You wanna drink it? You can. I'm not. I don't even wanna shower in it. I've seen the inside of what them lines look like. I've worked on them for years.
I promise this is my last thing. I don't feel like we've accomplished anything here.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Old age. I'll think of it though, okay, I promise.
Well, what she's thinking, I got one.
You must be younger than me.
Not by much. So, I'm surprised, and, so people have already got water bills?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Before,
over $200 already.
so 2 months before, it says, the
And we
bill,
all got a $10
two months
bill.
prior to the water being turned on, you'll get a, it shows you'll get a bill. How'd you get a bill already 2 months before? We don't know the water to be turned on. That's one thing that's kinda odd. That you would get a bill and you don't have water expected in 2 months, which is what the letter said. I think everybody wanted the water, not everybody, most of us wanted, a lot of people wanted water. I think what they're surprised at is how the monetary changed. I remember when I very first started, I think I heard something along the lines of like $80 a month or something. So 80 and 80 is 160, so now we're looking at 190, so it's $30. It's not the end of the world that way for those who want to have it. Does that price include your meter? Okay, that was my biggest question. There's more. I mean,
But your meter isn't really metering how much you're using. Correct?
Yes, that's exactly what it does.
yeah, your meter tracks your gallons.
Yeah, but you're
Up to
charged
1,000
to,
gallons, up to 2,000 gallons?
The village does have a minimum service charge,
They estimate.
but the meter itself does meter to the exact gallons that you're using.
And then what's the next increment?
$6.78 for 1,000 gallons.
Is there a following increment?
No.
No.
It stays at that for as much water as you use.
I remembered my,
Go ahead.
if you would have come to us, when you, and not you guys would be out of a job, I believe. If the town would have come to us and said, we're gonna do this water project, but you're gonna pay $148 every other month for the next 30 years. Who voted yes, but would vote no now?
It depends, if I had the water, I would still pay it, but I don't wanna pay it if I don't have it yet, because now I'm being charged double, I gotta go to the laundromat, I gotta pay for the laundromat, I gotta pay for, because it's hard water appliances that are breaking down, corrosion on the faucets, replacing faucets, you know. I see the benefit of the water, but don't bill me until I have
Right,
the
right.
the service.
But we're gonna be paying maintenance on the line that they're putting in, and then we're, on our water bill, we're also gonna be paying maintenance on our water bill. So we're gonna be paying double maintenance.
You'll only be charged maintenance once.
It says right in the letter that there's maintenance on this,
Maintenance is $8 per bill.
Yes.
plus we're gonna be
You're not paying
charging
for it once.
maintenance again.
Paying for it 6 times a year.
These are by month.
Right. 6 times a year.
So you tell me when I get my water bill,
$4 a month for maintenance.
maintenance, I'm not gonna have to pay another maintenance bill on the water that I have in my house?
No. You'll receive it's $8 a month or bi-monthly, with the capital charge, and that is the only maintenance you will get.
So on my bill, I'm not gonna be charged an additional maintenance fee because the maintenance fee is in this.
The capital debt doesn't include maintenance.
Correct. The capital debt does not
The
include
capital
maintenance.
debt is the cost that you have
Yes.
to pay for the services that they're providing to
Yes.
fill back that water.
Yes,
And then you get an $8 maintenance charge
Yes.
every month.
yes. To pay for anybody's meter goes, any water line breaks,
Capital
hydrants.
debt technically has nothing to do with any of
Correct.
the water.
Correct. The capital debt is just our
It's
debt
just the
payment.
bill
Yes.
for the.
But the maintenance fee, if you read, is for water hydrants, water main, valves,
That's for any repairs.
but we're gonna be charged that $8.
No.
And then on top of that, we're gonna get charged for maintenance on our regular water bill.
No.
Are you gonna, are
Just
they
one.
both combined bills? So it'll show like the capital charge